Hey, morning.
Hey, how you doing? Good morning.
Good morning, Ken.
Good morning.
My name's Kent. How are you guys? They call me the Cowboy.
Jim.
Jim, how you doing?
Andrew,
Kent.
nice to meet you.
Well, good morning. Here we are in beautiful Moab at the trailhead to Hell's Revenge, and we're going to go out on a ride today. And Kent's known as the Moab Cowboy, and if I remember right, you're a third generation.
We are three generations here, actually 4 generations in Moab, and my wife's side of the family is actually 7 generations here in Moab. They came here in the 1800s, 1847, in that area right there. Farmers and ranchers and explorers.
So I think we're in competent hands, and you operate a guide business here, and you take people on excursions and tours throughout the Moab region, right?
Yes, we are BLM and state permitted here in Moab, where we do take people out on tours. We're not a rental company. They drive my machines, but they follow behind the guide. And we also guide people to have their own machines. And because we get a lot of people that come here and don't know where to go, and so they call me and I'm able to guide them out, and we have a great time.
So I'm real excited today. What we thought we would do while we're up here at Rally in the Rocks is we were going to take a day and make a video about Hell's Revenge, and so that some of you maybe that have never been up here might understand how this all works. And Brandon is here with us. Morning. Brandon's a liaison between the BLM and the film industry, and his job is to kind of ride along with us and help us make sure we stay on the trails. And I like what he had to say about this is our land, right?
Everybody's land.
Yep, everybody's. And he's just here to kind of learn, you know, what the commercial side might want to do. So we're excited to have him along, and we've got a couple of our engineers and Jim, our road warrior, our traveling salesman, who's all over. Make sure you give a little wave, Jim, so they can, if you see Jim traveling down the road, make sure you stop and say hi. He's always got hats and stickers or something to give you out.
Smile.
So what can we kind of expect today?
Well, we're going out on one of the most sought-out off-road trails in the United States, believe it or not. It's called Hell's Revenge, and the reason it's so highly sought out for is because we're going to be driving on what they call petrified sand dunes. And these were actually created by the ocean, believe it or not. So we're actually driving on the bottom of the ocean, which is pretty cool, you know, but throughout millions of years, it's kind of petrified. But the abundance of slick rock that we have, and it's really not slick. Now, you're going to find out that your tires really hook up good on the rock because it is sandpaper. And so people are quite amazed about how your rig is able to perform out here. So it's just a neat area.
And that's how you and I became kind of connected, is you've been posting that you like the Razorback expedition rack that you got here on your machine. And for a guy that uses his machine every day, I thought that was pretty neat.
Yes, so, this rack is freaking awesome.
Don't hold back.
Yeah,
Tell us exactly.
And the reason I say that is because I am an outfitter, but I also do a lot of personal stuff like hunting and camping and just going out for the day. But this, being an outfitter, I'm able to carry a lot of tools. I'm able to carry coolers, extra gas cans, of course jacks. It's just unbelievable because you can open this thing up right here, and it's got a gas assist shock right here, so you're not going to get banged in the head, which is awesome. But look at the room. I mean, the room that I have, you know, usually if you have a stock vehicle, you know, you just have this. Here I can stuff stuff in there, tie it down if I want or not, it'll stay in. And then I got all this up here that I can put stuff. And trust me, when I'm out deer hunting and stuff, I load this puppy down, and I love it. And what's a neat feature too, if you're worried about your items, is you can actually lock it right here with the padlock if you want. You know, that deters people to get into your rig, but I mean, of course, carry a lawn chair because I am a little bit lazy sometimes, but it's an awesome product, very awesome.
Well, great. I'm going to just kind of show you a little bit of each machine here. So this is Chris's, 2015 Razor 1000. He's got some high clearance, A-arms on it. We've got our fold down windshield, which was real nice today. We drove in here about 10 miles this morning because Moab is street legal friendly. And we got this, we're gonna fold the windshield down. It's gonna be hot today. He's got our cargo rack on the back of it. Now we've got the new Can-Am 1000R. This is the Maverick Sport. This is the Rock Crawler Edition, and we just came out with this new windshield. I'm gonna go ahead and unlock it. So we're gonna put it through its paces today. And one of the things that we try to do here at Razorback is, you know, we're ATV and UTV enthusiasts, so we get out and use this stuff. You know, Chris is one of our engineers. This is his personal machine. We also have the new Can-Am rack on the back. While it's not available now, if we can walk back here, it's not available to purchase. We're out prototyping it, and we're gonna check everything for rattles. You can see we've got all our camera equipment in it and our coolers. Go ahead and zip that guy up. We're experimenting with a different type of rack on the top, and we really take this stuff serious. Over here is our Polaris Ranger. What's really neat about this rack, got machines going by. What's so neat about it is you can mount your rotor packs in different locations. We've got lots of tie down points. You can mount fuel packs or rotor packs up here. We've got a spare tire mount on it. Over here we've got shovels, axes, fuel packs, and we're real excited to introduce the brand new folding windshield for the Ranger. It'll fold right up. It's got a really nice, legitimate windshield wiper. This is from the automotive industry. You can fold it up out of the way. It's also got air vents in here so you can keep air. You know, this morning we were coming in with the windshields up, got a little warm. We can just open up the air vent on the inside and get the air. So enough with that, let's get on with the trail ride. All right, dismount, regulators.
Hey, come on over here for a minute.
So tell us where we're at here.
We're in a really unique area right here on Hell's Revenge because we have a certain formation called the Navajo Sandstone that's actually sticking up out of the earth right here. Because the valley actually sits in a 1,000-foot thick salt bed, okay?
Wait a minute, you're saying the valley floor is 1,000 foot?
1,000-foot thick of salt because of the
salt.
ocean. Okay, right here where we're standing was considered a mud bank. So what I want you to do is kind of imagine that there's still water in that valley and it's just kind of just sitting there. All right, and now, as we talked before, we're kind of walking on the bottom of the ocean here. And when you start looking at the ground, you have a great big giant book in front of you. And sometimes our eyes see it, but sometimes the brain doesn't register. So when you start studying the ground, you can see impressions in the rock. But only, you have to remember, one time this was mud. Okay, so we're thinking back 190 million years ago. And what's really unique is we have these dinosaur tracks right here. And it's three-toed. This is an Allosaurus, just a little bit smaller than a T-Rex. And they say they were both plant and meat eaters. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of train your eye to kind of look for things, because see, you gotta remember they're 190 million years old, so they might be a little bit distorted. Or you can just find like toe marks.
Didn't you say they had to build a road through here or something and it took so long?
Down south, there's a place over by Lake Powell called the Hole in the Rock. And if you ever get an opportunity to go there, you cannot believe how these people come across this country. They actually had to hoist these wagons up. And there's wagon tracks that deep in the rock where they wore through there to come up through there. And they actually carved the rock out and put cedar posts and stuff as stair steps. So when they drug them up, they'd have a place to sit.
To rest.
And then they drag them up, and it took days and days and weeks to get up through there. And it's a chute. No wider than 15, 20 feet in some of those places, even narrower.
A little tougher than me. A little tougher.
Yeah, those people were tough. Are you ready to head down the road again?
Let's keep on keeping on.
Okay.
Here we are at Abyss Canyon, right? Kent, is that right?
Canyon. Yeah, let's call this Abyss Canyon. And there's a lot of canyons like this in southeastern Utah. Of course, some are more popular hiking than others. The way to get into this canyon is actually it's rappelling, but now it's being called canyoneering. And right down to the bottom, you have these green trees, and there's actually a little natural spring at the bottom of this. But if you follow the canyon down the bend a little bit, you see the beginning of an arch. And of course, another 300 more million years, it'll be an arch.
Sure, I'll come back.
Yeah, we'll come back and look at it. But if you really scan to the right, there's a figure standing there, and we call it Mother Mary statue. You know, because everything on Hell's Revenge is named Hell, so we wanted something to watch us.
Yep.
And Mother Mary's watching out for us. Then if you kind of scan above that, along the ridge, you have what they call the La Salle Mountains that are snow-capped over there. And now these mountains were named by the Spaniards, and because they couldn't believe there was snow in the desert. They thought it was salt, so they named them La Salt.
They thought all that was salt.
They thought it was all salt. And they're actually the second highest peaks in Utah. And the youngest range in Utah, well, one of the two youngest ranges in the state of Utah.
Do you know when this park, or when did they start riding ATVs and mechanized vehicles on this?
Well, what happened was back in the day, I believe the guy's name was Dick Wilson, and he was a motorcycle enthusiast. And so he come out here and rode his motorcycle in this country clear back in the 40s and 50s. And then obviously, then the ATV came along, the little four-wheelers. And of course you had 4x4s. You know, my first time driving this trail, I was 11 years old in a 1948 Willys Jeep. But back then there were no markers. It was pretty much an open area. So we'd go around and just drive around out here. And then about, I believe around 2004, 2002, right in that area is when the side-by-side industry really started picking up. And as you know, Yamaha was the first one really to bring a side-by-side out in this country. And so everybody just thought that was the coolest thing in the world, because now you got your partner next to you, had a roll cage, and you were a lot safer.
You don't have to have your buddy on the back hanging on to you anymore. You don't have to have your buddy
on the back leaning, you know, going back. And I get a kick on people that drive some of these rigs. You can tell they were ATV enthusiasts, because you see them in these rigs and they're leaning, you know, up and back, and it's just really neat. They're pretty stable rigs.
Absolutely.
These manufacturers are getting better and better at suspension, more stability, and it's just an awesome product.
All right, well, let's keep going.
All right, we'll head that way.
Well, here we are at the pretty close to the midway point of our Hell's Revenge tour today with Kent, and we're on the backside of the hot tubs. We're going to be heading there next, and Kent started pointing out this beautiful views, and he started telling us some history, and I thought we'd take a moment and have him just kind of tell us a little bit about what we're looking at. As you can see in the background, it's just breathtaking. It's just absolutely breathtaking.
Oh, it's a beautiful spot. Where the rigs are right here, obviously you got the LaSalle Mountains, and we're looking east, by the way, southeast a little bit. And then the red benches below there are Wilson Mesa and South Mesa. And we're going to pan to the left a little bit, and that's Porcupine out there.
Where Porcupine Ridge, where we went last year, or Porcupine
Ridge. They also call it, the mountain bikers also call it the whole enchilada.
The whole enchilada.
Yeah, it's a 27-mile bike ride from the LaSalle Mountains all the way to the Colorado River. And so they'll ride that whole ridge out there, and then they'll come over here to what us old cowboys used to call it, locomotive, big locomotive, and it drops down over to the canyon.
So let me back up. Why'd they call it big locomotive? Just
because
the shape
it looks like
of
a
it?
big old choo-choo train at a certain distance. You know,
Okay.
And then it comes right down along the Colorado River, and then you have Arches National Park right out there.
So the Colorado, there's some Jeeps way off where we were.
Yeah.
The Colorado River's going through that crack.
And right behind us there. Yeah, and then it comes right along over here, what we call Balanced Rock, and then the Courthouse Towers. Of course, you got the beautiful Book Cliff Mountains in the background. And then you got Courthouse Wash all along here. And then the green you see way out there, that's over in the Klondike Bluffs area, and there's a lot of copper mineral out there. Okay, and then you're gonna pan to the left a little bit here, and you're gonna see 3 rocks that look like they got hats on them or standing there.
Right over there.
Yeah, that's actually called Park Avenue with the 3 Gusman Sisters and Arches National Park, right there.
And that's on the other side of the river.
That's on the other side of the Colorado River. And it's just absolutely gorgeous right here. Awesome. And then we're gonna come over here, and obviously you can see the trail and where these machines are.
Yeah, and one of them just rolled over a little bit ago.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
it kind of
did.
goes to show that this is kind of serious stuff.
It is serious stuff.
As fun and as exciting as it is, you know, you kind of got to be on your game.
Yeah, you got to be on your game at all time. You got to be paying attention, basically. And then right there where he actually rolled over is called Cherokee Hole, and he's getting ready to climb Cowboy Hill. And then they're going to continue on up, and they're going to head right over to the hot tubs.
Well, we're so climbing that.
Yeah. Now I'm going to go to the right because of the Ranger behind us, you know, and then you guys can climb Cowboy Hill.
And then from there, next stop's going to be up at the
hot tubs.
The hot tubs, and that's where things.
Car wash and the big hot tub, or the Devil's Highway hot tub, and then we'll drop down by Mickey's hot tub, and then off the Dragon's Tail.
All right, exciting. Well, let's get on to the next phase.
Yeah.
Well, we made it.
We did. We made it.
I figure we started together and we're ending together. What a great end of the trip. And you know, before I go through the comments, like Chris is one of the engineers that works for Razorback, works for us, and you're out here on your machine. This is your first time, and maybe you could speak up a little bit. I'll actually take my mic and just kind of tell me and tell everybody what you thought of it.
It's been amazing. I mean, everything you guys talk about it every year, it's awesome out here. It's incredible what these machines can do, and you really see it when you come out.
And you really see the value in our racks, don't you?
Yep.
Andrew, you're the original project engineer for Razorback, stand-in sound man and stand-in cameraman.
Yeah, put that in my resume.
Yeah, we'll add that. Water boy, you've done a good job with that. So you want to tell your closing comments?
Yeah, no, this is now my second time out here, and just being able to experience what we've designed and what we have built, and that accomplishment really is kind of that satisfying feeling as an engineer and as a designer for some products, to really get that feeling. So that's what I really enjoy the most about being here at Moab, and then also good company. So
awesome. All right. And now Jim Todd, the original founder of Razorback Offroad, the rack's named after you, and you had, you know, a lot of vision in what these machines needed, and it was neat to have you out here today. Normally you're the road warrior, you're just going from, you know, dealership to dealership, but we got to hang out today. And any closing thoughts?
Again, just want to thank you, Chuck, for the invite to get out here. Nice to come in off the road and get to actually come out and play with the product, and I don't get the opportunity to hang out with the guys.
And you got the most competent machine today, the Bone Stock Ranger.
I got the Bone Stock Ranger, and we've had a blast.
All right, Brandon. Hopefully we passed the test today, and hope you enjoyed your day with us.
Outstanding. Great group. Perfect trail etiquette. Followed all permit stipulations to the T, and did a bunch of reclamation.
Awesome. And like we were saying, you know, the reclamation he's talking about is we found some pop cans here and there, and I saw you packing something out, and it's just, you know, I can't understand why people would litter such a beautiful place. I just don't get it. Or riding off trail, I don't understand it. And hopefully it'll just get better from here on out.
Absolutely.
Kent, man, I tell you, I told my wife, I said, you know, you're going to miss out because Kent stops and tells the stories. And I think normally everybody's just going through here as fast as they can, and we got to learn a little bit about the history and how a lot of this was done. And I always think of you when I see the Salty Mountains.
Yeah,
And
they're a beautiful range. It's been a pleasure being with you guys.
well, I guess you have your own mic there.
You know, just to watch these machines perform and the equipment that you've outfitted them with, they're an awesome product. I've been watching the windshields, I've been watching the racks, and they're just well made. I mean, you can't get a better product than what you guys are making. So my hat's off to you guys. I mean, you do a fantastic job, and your passion for the side-by-side industry really shows. Yeah. And because you look at your equipment, it is top-notch.
Well, and I think that's important to say that, you know, we're here because we support this industry and we live it. I mean, it's who we are. We're not making this stuff up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for getting us out of Hell's Revenge. I hope everybody enjoyed this little bit of a tour that we give you, and maybe you'll get a chance to come out here. And everybody, can we all on 1, 2, 3? We hope to see you on the trail. Huh? 1, 2, 3.
We hope to see you on the trail.